Welcome, folks. I'm Jabby Koei, joined by Steph SABRAW.
Hello.
What up, brah?
What up?
Good morning. And ACHARA KIRK.
Hello.
Is always berserk. So, you guys, thanks so much for joining us. Please do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please vote this up. Let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching, assuming you're watching this on YouTube, because if you are, you're seeing a cut-down version of our reaction. We're only allowed to show you a limited amount of picture-in-picture on YouTube. If you want to watch the whole thing with us, no cuts or interruptions, head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/JabbyKoei, or become a member of this channel so you can watch the whole thing with us, no cuts or interruptions, but you will need your own Disney Plus subscription so you can open up each episode in an adjacent window to our reaction, and we'll give you a 3, 2, 1 countdown sync, and it'll be like you're watching it with 3 of your favorite pals from the internet. Now, if you're watching this on Patreon or memberships already, thanks so much for supporting us here. Really appreciate you guys. And I did my whole intro backwards, so that's that. Okay, here we go. That looks super real.
Is he still eating cereal? Oh, thank God.
I wonder if it's a miniature. Like, how'd they do that?
Is that what you're wearing?
Oh my God.
It's a brown suit.
The collar.
What about it?
It's high. Everything says something, Syril.
What is it that you hear my collar saying?
Look at me. I don't believe in myself. I am desperate.
Wow. Dang.
Savage.
This is why we recruit so carefully and demand so much. The following measures will be adopted: empire-wide tribute tax equal to 5 times the amount stolen from Aldhani.
Wow.
The use of any local custom, festival, or tradition as cover for rebel activity will trigger permanent revocation of imperial tolerance.
Wow.
The rebels, this is exactly what they want. We're treating what happened at Aldhani like a robbery.
What would you call it?
An announcement.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mon Mothma,
Without warning?
wipe the smile off your face.
She always has the nicest rides.
So sick.
Yeah.
Perrin likes it. I'm just not sure he loves it. I think I might want the other one.
Donuts. Mochi nut. What's in that box?
The gift she bought for
Oh.
her husband last time.
Was this you?
What do you mean?
The garrison, Aldhani.
Ah! Is it true? Claire was just...
I told you I'm doing everything I can.
Your everything seemed to be all about bringing in a savior to access your family funds.
Dang.
It was you, wasn't it?
I warned you when we started.
You told me we were building a network.
What were my words?
This is something else entirely.
Turning back will be impossible. Has anyone ever made a weapon that wasn't used? The network's been built. It's up. It grows or it dies.
Palpatine won't hesitate now.
Exactly. We need it. The Empire has been choking us so slowly, we're starting not to notice.
Oh.
People will suffer.
That's the plan.
They're already suffering.
We need every credit we can get our hands on. Let me know how the meeting goes.
I'm afraid I won't be taking either of these pieces this morning.
I have some new things coming in very, very soon.
I hope she's worth it.
Well, we'll see, won't we? We can't hide forever.
Yeah. I needed that just to understand. Because I was like, this feels like it's worse for the people.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, I get what you're doing. Sometimes you have to make things worse before they get better.
It's disruption.
And they needed money.
Yeah.
There's a rebel murderer running free because of corruption and laxity in the corporate authority. I was punished for trying to uphold the law. Do my job, maintain public safety. 2 men dead. Co-workers.
We just happen to have an immediate opening in fuel purity. I'd hate to see you miss your chance.
All right. That could have gone worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. The job sounds riveting. Her fashion is fierce.
I was gonna say that looks like something you could just wear out here in LA.
Yeah, I like it.
Kind of power walk going on.
Yeah.
I don't know where they shot this. So it has like a really cool industrial look.
At ease.
I need a multi-sector data blend going back 2 years. The survey pool is Imperial naval bases and repair facilities. I want a record of all missing avionics, comm, navigation, and targeting equipment.
For which star system?
All star system.
What?
I'll need this report kept confidential, and a copy sent exclusively to my office. Can I rely on you for that level of discretion?
Absolutely, can do.
Will do.
Will do.
Dang.
Well, you know what Yoda said. No can. Do or do not.
That's exactly how he said it.
You gotta go.
Damn.
Holy crap.
That's a dope shot. Although I feel like a ship entering like that would create such a rumble.
Yeah.
I'm surprised everything's just super chill.
Where is he? She scrubs up well.
Come on, glow up.
We have a loose end. Cassian Andor. We can't have him walking around with Luthen in his head.
You mean kill him?
This is what revolution looks like, Val. We'll send you what we have on him.
The morality of revolution.
Yeah.
I appreciate the digital flares in the show. I think they're cool. Just adds that much more like filmic realism.
Oh, is he? Isn't that not very smart?
Cassian!
Oh.
Since when do we lock the door? Where have you been?
Where have you been?
Ferrix is under Imperial authority. You shouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
We go tonight. Tonight? What do we need to take but the three of us? We take what we can carry, and we disappear. I'll check up on Bix, and we'll pull out first thing in the morning.
The first thing.
Let's do that.
What's up?
What is going on?
Yeah.
You can rest on the ship. Go!
Yeah, wait, what?
Get out.
Oh my. Mon Mothma. Take my breath away. Jeez.
Yeah.
I've spent a great deal of time thinking about this conversation, Jay. I want to tell you something that only 3 people in the galaxy know.
Oh my god.
Don't tell people.
Is this personal or political?
Political?
I've done more than grow weary of the Empire. I'm afraid you'd find my politics a bit strong for your taste.
Nope. Well.
The world is inescapably linked to the Empire. You're with these people all the time. I'm not sure you're aware how far afield some of us have taken our political allegiances these days.
This is very dangerous.
Sorry, I think I've had a bit too much of Perrin's MC punch.
They're in the same page, though.
I don't trust anyone.
Irritation, as you so harshly put it.
I've made you angry.
No, you set me free. I've been wondering all day how I could be sure of confiding in you.
I don't know what we're talking about.
It's a lie.
Ooh.
Smile. I've learned from Palpatine. I show you the stone in my hand. You miss the knife at your throat.
Ooh.
I need help.
Raising money for what?
Forming a Chandrilan charitable outreach program. I'll ask you to be chairman.
You haven't answered my question.
And I won't. You're better off not knowing. Or perhaps you find my politics a bit strong for your taste.
Talk dirty to me, Mon Mothma.
He knows none of this. He's not to be trusted.
Nope.
Smile.
There you are.
Dang.
That was so good.
May I steal her back? There's a few guests that require special handling.
Of course.
To be continued.
Her husband's pin looks like the pin of the hand.
Oh, yeah. She's so good.
So good.
Smile.
I love that scene.
Yeah. She's been doing that a lot.
Where else do you get that in Star Wars?
Yeah.
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
He didn't finish it. He's just walking around with all his...
Remember when your father caught me climbing over that wall?
This is the last place you should be.
Yeah. What if she's being watched?
Tim?
I guess he thought you and I were back together.
Why would he think that?
He can't be as surprised as I was.
What happened to you? I need to know about the other guy. The buyer.
Pac introduced us, but swears he doesn't know either.
You ever talk to him again, tell him I held up my end of the deal. 12,000 credits. San, Nerchi, Brazo, Dima. 12 should cover it.
No hug goodbye.
Be careful, Cass.
You too.
Come on, guys.
That sucks.
Well, she still feels bad about her boyfriend.
I know, but they could never see each other again.
Oh God. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Why'd you take off your hood? Maybe it helps you
So
see
we
better.
could see him.
Don't worry. They won't be here long. You're just gonna raise their silly flag and fly away. Don't move. Stay here.
Hey, guys! Calm down!
Oh no.
Oh shit. Oh no.
Oh no, no, no.
You're in the way.
Damn.
That was like his dad, right? Because that's who found him with his mom.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
I think he was the one on the ship with her.
He's back.
I love this little
He's
guy.
so cute.
Bubba back. Daddy's home.
I was coming to find you.
Here I am.
Best friend.
You haven't done much packing.
She says we can't go.
Be quiet.
He's like a child.
He is.
Well, we'll find a place they haven't ruined yet.
I'm already there. That place is in my head. They can build as many barracks as they like. They'll never find me.
What's left to keep you here?
The rebellion.
What?
Ferrix has been hiding long enough.
So now you're taking on the Empire.
It's overdue and probably doomed, and I'm too old, and I don't care anymore.
Fair.
Every time I walk down Rick's Road, I turn off before I get to the square. I take the long way around, so I don't have to think about Clem hanging there.
Oh, he took his
Oh
name.
my gosh.
And yesterday I heard about this attack at Aldani. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, the garrison at Aldani.
I heard that. I put on my best coat, and I walked across the square with a smile on my face. There are heroes brave enough to take on a whole Imperial garrison. I'm brave enough to stick it out here. I don't expect you to understand.
He was there.
Yeah.
People are standing up.
Yeah, and getting killed for it.
You have a different path, Cass, and I am not judging you.
I'll be worried about you all the time.
That's just love.
Oh.
I've never loved anything the way I love you.
Oh my gosh.
I want anything more, but this time, you can't stay, and I can't go.
Can I speak now?
No!
Dang, that was powerful though.
Tell me you understand.
I don't.
You will, you'll see.
Oh God, I don't know if I could do it.
She is so dope.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cool.
Mr. Blevin,
Sir?
I sensed something eager in you this morning.
No, sir. At risk of repetition, you are correct.
Good news, is it?
I'm afraid not. I wish to lodge a charge against a fellow supervisor.
Oh?
I believe our sector protocols, as described in the ISB Code of Conduct, are being violated by Supervisor Miro.
Ooh.
Risks compromising Imperial safety to a degree that silence is no longer possible.
You think this forum appropriate?
I do.
Snitch.
Yeah.
Supervisor Miro, do you mind having your integrity ventilated in public?
No, sir, that's not accurate. You advised me to reinforce my suspicions with data and to be careful in my work going forward.
Is that your defense? You've been careful. I'd be curious how many people at this table will think it careful that you found a way to access our sector data without ever filing a request.
Is that true, Dedra?
As organizing principles, not personal playthings, do you really think the rebels care about the lines we draw on maps?
Imagine if everyone in this room played as loose with the rules as you.
An excellent suggestion, Blevin. I'm wondering where we'd be right now if everyone here showed the same endeavor as Supervisor Miro.
Whoa.
For the moment, I'm reassigning the Morlana sector to Supervisor Miro. Ferrix is of great interest to her and has clearly become a distraction for you. Supervisor Grandy, you will accelerate your schedule. Young, I will expect your report on Ord Mandel tomorrow.
That didn't go how you thought it would.
Yeah, it totally backfired.
It's not good for the rebels either.
True.
Well played.
Thank you, sir.
Watch your back.
He's an interesting mentor. He's like, I like you. I'm not going to protect you. So good luck.
Wow.
Some music is interesting.
Yeah.
This is an interesting location, too. I feel like we're in Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas?
Miami, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Vegas is a desert.
Like Waikiki.
Uh-oh.
Just sit down.
Yeah. He can't sit down.
How interesting this place.
Yeah.
You need to back up. Stand right there. You look like you're sweating.
Well, it's hot.
Or you've been running.
Why would I be running?
Because you're a part of it.
I can wait for you here if you want.
Rest ears.
What?
You heard me.
Wait, no. But here. I'm a tourist.
What?
Tourists don't run.
But I'm not running.
You got that right. That window is shut.
Oh, is it just...
Hang on to this one for me. I want to check the shelter.
Oh my gosh, Oh no, wait. Oh no.
No, he meant watch. No, he means watch.
Whoa!
Tell him you mean watch!
Damn.
They psyched us out.
Yeah.
I knew he wasn't coming this season, but...
Animal fouling.
4 months. Next.
That stamp thing is like an old credit card machine.
I'm sorry, there's something wrong.
I wouldn't. You got enough trouble without a resisting judgment charge.
I'm just a tourist.
Oh, apologies all round then.
6 years.
6 years?
What?
Damn.
No, wait. But
Change of guidelines.
Take him away.
I didn't do anything. Hey,
Take it up with the Emperor.
wait. I'm just a tourist.
Oh, dang.
Looks like you gotta step in and do some rebelling.
Yeah. Don't think you have a choice, bro. God.
I know that feeling. I've been there.
Soul sucking.
What's that called? Like silent quitting? Oh my
Oh,
god.
whoa, what a weird place to end.
Gosh.
That was a very, very strange place to end it, but it's like, it's a large story, and so it's like, okay, I guess that's a poignant spot to just conclude this episode, this chapter, and move on to the next thing. That last shot was, I felt like that was extremely relatable for so many of us who have worked office jobs or work office jobs, where you just are literally in this cubicle, and you're a cog in the machine, and that's it. It just feels so meaningless and hopeless. Have you ever worked an office job?
Once, yeah, as an assistant. I had like a cubicle desk, and I really would look out the window and think about, should I jump?
Yeah. Okay, so I've told this a couple times, I think on the other channel. I'll keep it short for those of you who are on both channels. There was this experience I had where I realized the office life was not for me, where there was this girl sitting behind me. I turned to her and I was like, hey, so you've been here like 3 weeks, right? And she goes, I've been here 6 months. And I realized how my life has just been a freeway. You know when you're on the freeway and you just check out?
Yeah.
Because you don't need to retain that data? That's what my life was like working in a cubicle at Yahoo in Burbank, California. My life was just whizzing by me, and it's like it was all meaningless, you know? And it was so sad. It was so depressing. I would like get so bored, I would Google search, how long would it take to get to Canada if I hopped in my car right now just to drive somewhere, far away from all this? I feel like that gives us a sense as to where his head might be at. He obviously still has this, like he was talking about getting his record expunged.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if he's somehow gonna come across Cassian's file for some reason.
Well, that's what I was thinking, because he is that type of guy, similar to Mira, who works in that Empire place, right? But like they're very detail oriented and they're very sharp in what they notice. And so I wonder if maybe while he's crunching numbers at some point, he's going to come across something that's sus.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna be like, oh, and then try and investigate it. It's interesting because on the one hand, it seems like the Empire is all about rules and regulations and just following orders and all that. But we see that there are some people within it who want to do something else, especially with Mira, who at first we're like, oh, is she gonna get into trouble for stepping out of line? But it seems that her superior recognizes that sometimes you need that new thinking and tenacity to do something else and to get forward.
They're okay with it when you do well.
Exactly.
Right? Like you can step out, this is like such a thing of life. You can break the rules if you accomplish what you are supposed to accomplish.
Yeah. Right.
And I think we saw it with the guy now working in the cubicle. It didn't work. So now he's back to square one. But if it did work, he probably would have been promoted, like how Mira is.
With regards to the scene you're talking about with Mira, I mean, across the board, I really, really like all the acting going on in the show and the scene work. I felt like that was the most predictable of all the scenes that we'd seen so far, just because I was like, okay, based on the structure of what's happening right now, I feel like she's going to win out. The boss is going to turn around in her favor. And that's invariably what happened. Like, where else would it go?
Right.
You know, because it's not going to favor that guy. That wouldn't be interesting. It's more interesting to see her, like, level up. What made it special to me, though, was that fleeting line he said at the end of the scene where he's walking away and just under his breath, he's like, watch your back. And then just leaves her there.
Yeah.
And it's like, you won, but like now you've got more problems, more money, more problems kind of situation where it's like, yeah, you're advancing, but now like people are going to have a sharper eye on you and be watching you more closely and look for something wrong with you now, which I mean, to be fair, they were already doing, but it's going to be worse.
Yeah, they've created this highly competitive space where people are just cutting throats to get to the top.
Yeah.
But I'm so impressed with this episode because you saw all the corners of the galaxy we're working with right now, and it was a reminder that I'm so invested in every part with Mon Mothma, with Diego Luna's character, with Mira, and with the guy who's eating cereal yet again. I thought he wasn't, and he was back to it. He's got to add more nutrition to his diet because I feel like that's probably part of the reason he's always in a bad mood. But another extremely well-written episode where I just want to take my phone out and write quotes because I'm like, dang.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned the cereal thing because I just took that as like a weird character thing, but having thought more about it, it is like this sort of, is it infantile? It's like this childlike thing to continue to eat cereal. Now, not that grown-ups don't, but like there was a particular look to it that looked like kids cereal, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so it's almost like it's saying subconsciously, like he's still a kid when he's dealing with his mom. Like, these problems. I really like. I mean, it's pretty overt in the dialogue and the exchange and the way they behave and whatnot. Like she's kept him like under her thumb. I think that little cereal thing actually adds a lot of character and a lot of subtext that I wasn't thinking about. I just thought it was like this flair, but it actually has meaning to it, and I think that's cool.
His mom is just kind of awful to be around. It's hard to be an adult when your mom constantly treats you as a child, telling you to be grateful for your uncle because he got you a job, and like basically pointing out all the things that are wrong with you. That was so savage when she like basically just took apart his whole personality because he raised his collar a little bit to be higher. I'm like, okay, clearly your son has a thing for fashion. He loves to customize his outfits so that he stands out a little bit, rather than saying it's because, you know, you want to assert your individuality or whatever. She's all like, it's because you're insecure. And that might be true.
Yeah, but he kept saying over and over again, it's a brown suit. In my mind, I mean, I might be misinterpreting. He was trying to tell her indirectly, like, it's not a big deal. You need to calm down. It's not a big deal. But he can't, like, come out and say that. So he's just like, it's a brown suit. Please back off. Please.
Well, yeah, because it's a brown suit. Brown is like such a plain color, you know, and it's like nothing. He does customize his stuff. Like he wants to stand out. He wants to
look like he cares.
Exactly.
Yeah. If this was like a even darker story, the trajectory of that is he murders his mom. Like, you know what I mean?
Seriously, she's suffocating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he would blow up on her or something, or knock her out by accident, just in a fit of rage because he's just been so, you know, repressed and pent up, frustration and whatnot. That's where that would typically go. I don't know where it's going to go in the Star Wars universe. Speaking of the Star Wars universe, this is the best acting I've seen in the Star Wars universe ever. Every single scene is so like well put together. Not that there's bad acting in Star Wars. sometimes. Generally speaking, I feel like this is the real, like, top-notch, the best that we've seen in all of Star Wars. I mean, between the writing and the acting, like you guys were talking about how much you liked that scene at the party and how everything was, like, under her breath, and she's like, smile, you know, just, you know, keep it together.
It's like real spy stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that was, like, you're so tense, but then you're like, no, she's in control. She's been doing this.
Yes.
And she's playing, and same with Mira, like they're playing these parts of, you know, women who are kind of overlooked, and they play to the quietness, and now that they're ready to strike, and they're kind of both planting their plans out in with certain people.
I was feeling so uncomfortable in that scene at the party, just because for me personally, if I was in that situation, I don't know who I could trust. And so she's definitely taking a huge risk to trust her old school friend. Things couldn't change, you know what I mean? Like, what if he is also secretly working for the Empire or whatever? What if he is saying this stuff that he thinks she wants to hear? That's always at the back of my mind. I'm suspecting everybody that she's talking to in this show, but she seems to think that he's trustworthy. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
No, I feel you on that. I mean, that's quite scary. You don't know who's gonna, you know, turn their back on you. I mean, he might still be lying himself and turn her in, and she could get killed. You know, you have no idea where anyone's alliances actually are. That's what's so frightening in a situation like this. And that heightened feeling of fear without showing you a barrage of violence, right? It's like that heightened, that sort of undercurrent of tension that you were talking about. That is so good to me. Like, that's such quality, I don't know, filmmaking, writing, whatever it is, because like I don't recall having this feeling otherwise in Star Wars. That's what I'm trying to say. I keep coming back to that.
When they were talking, I'm glad they did it at the party because it made it more tense and you really felt that spy feeling. But if someone had like Jabby's hearing there, they would be able to be like, oh,
yeah,
I heard that.
Yeah, it's very, very scary. Like the whole thing. They're not doing it in a private space. They're just like, oh, we're in the middle of a party and we're having this conversation, which is very treasonous, but like we're going for it. You know what I mean?
Well, there's no other way to do it.
No.
Sure.
She's constantly being watched.
Yeah.
That's what she was talking about within the scene, too.
I thought this episode was really interesting as well because it brings up the question of morality within the rebellion. At first, I found it difficult to understand because the repercussions of what they did seemed so serious. I'm like, wow, this is affecting the people really negatively. And I couldn't wrap my head around how this was their end goal. It's like, we're trying to free the people, but then now they're being treated even worse by the Empire. And then when it was finally explained, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, we have to make the people see that, like, you can't be a lobster just slowly boiling in a pot and not realizing, you know? Like, you need to know what's happening to you so you can choose to rebel and stand up. And I guess it worked the way that they wanted to because more and more people were feeling fired up to, like, fully join the rebellion.
Oh, okay. I thought that the another angle of it was almost like a Jesse James kind of thing where this story's making the rounds of this robbery that happened, and it sends a signal that people are standing up and like they also want to now you are inspired to also stand up.
Yeah.
But it's a double plus, I guess, because, you know, that money was meant to fund the rebellion.
And it makes the Empire react in a way that shows exactly who they are.
Exactly.
They want to suffocate you. They want you to have no rights, and they're going to show themselves in a greater way. And so people, if you oppress them enough, they're all going to stand up.
With regards to, because you mentioned at the end of the scene with, is it Mira? That's her name? The villain. You mentioned at the end of that scene how, like, in a way, you're like, let's not forget she's a bad guy, right? I think what's so cool about that, and what's so compelling is that they're making the bad guys interesting. And you don't often get that these days, where you're spending that much time with the villain and they're making them that deep, or you're getting that much insight into who they are as a character. Oftentimes they're just like this two-dimensional thing, like they're just the villain. Even within Star Wars, it's like it kind of suffers from that a little bit, because Star Wars, when it started out, it was more classical in a sense, like the Joseph Campbell thing, and it's like, this is your hero, this is your bad guy, simple. And now it's gotten more three-dimensional in a way where you're like, you're really getting insight into like the psyche of these people and what they're dealing with and like the inner challenges and whatnot. And that's what's so compelling about the show in general. Like the whole time, that's what it's been for me. The scene that you guys almost cried on, I almost cried.
Oh my gosh.
With Cassian and his mom, or his pseudo mom. I thought that was wonderful. Her handling of that just performance-wise was so
Yeah.
fantastic.
It was so real. I mean, and it reminds you of the cost of the rebellion, the cost of living in the Empire. And she's right. She's old. What is the point anyway? At least here she can stay and fight, and she can use the rest of her life in support of a cause that she believes in, you know, and she was so awesome. I love that thing where she was like, I'm already in a place where they can't get to me. It's in my mind. I was like, dang, that's powerful.
Yeah,
you know,
she's such a baddie. Like, she's been having these quotes about the rebellion, and she has a better grasp on it than Cassian does.
Yeah.
And she's able to see even what he did as what it is, you know, part of the spark of this rebellion more than he is. Like, he was just like, this is money. She's like, no, what they did, not thinking it was him, is so important. This is the start.
Yeah, he has no idea what he was part of.
No idea.
Yeah, the greater good. Like, he has no idea what kind of a change he's affected. Like, he just happened to be part of it. And so he's obviously going to come around. I feel like in the next episode, he's going to have a complete switch.
Well, yeah, because he tried to run away,
Yeah.
right? He tried to take his money and run away to a place where the Empire won't be able to find him. And guess what? They can find you. So what are you going to do? Like, your choices are to join in with them or to fight against them. Being wrongfully imprisoned like that, they don't even listen to him. They just literally looked at him and were like, you're suspicious.
Yeah.
And which is so realistic.
Yeah. If he doesn't fight, then I don't know what.
Can you expand on your thoughts on the thing what she was talking about, where they're like, where Cass's mom was like, I'm free in my mind or something like that?
They can't get to her in her mind. It's just like, it doesn't really matter where you go. Like, you can be somewhere physically and think that you've escaped, but there is no real freedom unless it's in your mind. You know what I mean? I think that's what she was trying to say. It's like, in her mind, she can think of a place that is beautiful and free and lovely. And that's something that they can never take away from her, whether they put her behind bars or, you know, wherever. Her mind is her own.
One of the things they always talk about, and anything that's sort of inspired by the likes of 1984 or Fahrenheit 451, is like thought police. And like policing what you think. And
Exactly.
she has the freedom to think whatever she wants in her mind still, and that's a powerful thing. I like that.
That scene was just heartbreaking, though. I mean, and then it's the same with Bix as well, right? It's like all of these people who meant something in his life, he can't take them with him, and they're going to have to suffer the consequences of what happened, like what he did, you know?
Yeah.
And so he can't run away forever, clearly. And so he's going to have to come back and fight.
This is making me already appreciate Rogue One even more. I didn't really love it when I watched it, but like reflecting on it with this in consideration, it's really helping it. Because you see Cass's trajectory now, and like how he gets pulled into this thing and his fateful doom. It's so much more powerful now. Anyways, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Do subscribe, bell icon, all notifications, vote this up, please. And if you're watching this on Patreon or memberships, thanks so much for supporting us here. I'm Jabby Kuwait. This is
Steph SABRAW.
And
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.